Hey everybody, welcome to Run Strong. Today we're going to go over my training plan between now and cross country nationals. It is my final year. I'm running for Humber College. It's my second year running for them. I have been running in the OCAA. This will be my 5th year. I'm in my 30s and I've been really dragging out my cross country career, but I love doing it, and this is the last year I'm going to have to do it, so I want to make the most of it, and I have a pretty detailed idea of how I want to train to get there. So let's go over how I'm going to do that. I made some decisions that are probably different than what somebody coming in fresh with almost no training would do. I, about 6 weeks ago, ran a 100-kilometer race. I have a good base of long aerobic miles, tempo threshold work at a slightly elevated heart rate, what we'd say, maybe half marathon to marathon effort. I've done lots of that, but I'm here in week 4, and it was about 2 weeks ago when I started doing workouts again. Man, everything felt so fast. I went in with the group we normally run with, and I could get halfway through the workout, and I was like I was sprinting the entire time, and I was running paces well slower than what I was used to. So, what I've been trying to do over these 4 weeks is really just build my confidence and my ability to run fast again. And I think that confidence in what you're doing and confidence in your ability to go to the next phase is super, super important. Greg McMillan, the coach I really respect, he always says, you do the training to do the training to do the training to run the race. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So the intervals, I'm not doing a ton of volume. They're relatively short. They're even getting shorter as the weeks go on, and I'm really prepping for these 2 workouts here. What I want to do is this workout, classic Jack Daniels workout. I've done it a ton of times. I know my pace is on it, and I know that if I can hit that workout and do it well and look at my splits and be happy with it, I know I'm going to be able to go at least into that next phase with some confidence, feeling good and ready to really start to put some work in. And then long run, first couple weeks I kind of opted to do some harder efforts instead of the long run. Last week I ended up adding on about 25 to 30 kilometers after a race over the course of 4 or 5 hours. Not a normal day. I wouldn't suggest doing it, but it's something I did. But as of this week, back to normal long runs, and these 20K efforts for me are really about 90 minutes. That's our goal, is to get up to that 90-minute mark. Later on in the build, I will get some longer efforts in, and that's just because as somebody who's run lots of ultra marathons, I like the feeling, I know my body can tolerate it, and I feel pretty strong if I can keep one of those at least once a month. I want to be able to run 20 miles. It just makes my body feel good. So once I'm done with this phase here, I'm going to be really confident, move into this next one. A lot of these workouts, I don't know what we're doing because I'm going to Humber, I'm going to run with the team, but I know that this is the style of workout that we're going to be doing those days. This block here is really me kind of trying to get into boost my VO2 max, because right now I feel pretty slow. So this is trying to be able to just run fast. There's a lot more rest here. This is my ability to stretch out that speed. So now I want to be able to stretch out, instead of just for 400 meters, now I want to go say 5 minutes, 3 minutes, a bunch of 5-minute repeats. Stretch that out, and it's all going to culminate here in the 6K time trial. That is the last time trial to see who makes the team. Hopefully I'll make the team. I'm the captain of the team for this coming year, so hopefully I make it. And then once that is done, we are in competition officially. Our season compared to, say, a soccer or a baseball or a volleyball season, super, super long. Basketball is super long too. Our seasons are really short. They're 20 weeks probably, end to end if you include summer baseball. I'm running 7 races here. So we're still trying to build fitness in here. I know we're going to do 1 day of longer intervals and 1 day of shorter intervals with another day with the team, a longer, kind of easier run with some hills. I'll probably make another video at the end just to kind of talk about the workouts and at the end of the season. And then once we get down here, peaking, I'm sure the workouts again will kind of taper off here, but mileage will continue to build gradually up until about 2 weeks before provincials, a little bit before nationals. I might push this back a bit further depending how I'm feeling. If this 115, 120K starts to feel really good, I might stay there because I don't want to peak too early. This time last year, I was already running 130, 140 kilometer weeks, and I am well below that right now, but I'm gonna get up to a good, decent amount of mileage. So let's talk about cross training. Right now, for the next 4 weeks, I'm really concentrating on muscular endurance, which is these longer sets. And I'm not doing a ton of volume. I am doing 4 days a week though, so spread it over the course of the week. A set of 8, which is a little bit heavier, and then a single set of 20 on a variety of exercises. I'll probably end up doing, say, 8 exercises in a workout. The way I like to think about it is I really don't try to focus on specific exercises. What I try to focus on is specific movements, and whether I load it with a cable or a bungee or do it front loaded or back loaded, as long as it feels like I'm engaging when I'm supposed to be engaging and performing the movement well, I'm normally happy with the result. The way I think about this is movements right now. I'm really concentrating on getting used to squatting again, getting used to hinging or performing a deadlift again. And then there's the 3 fundamental movements in running that we use to kind of generate force. Knee drive, which is paw back, which is essentially like a single leg deadlift motion, and then plantar flexion, which is coming up off of your toes. Secondarily, I'm going over core stability, and I break that up into anterior, posterior, or front and back, and then lateral as well. You want stability in all of those planes. I want to do some form of rotation and some form of an anti-rotation, so I'm holding still and something's trying to pull me into a rotation. Once I'm done with this muscular endurance phase, I'm going to move into the 6 weeks of max strength, and these weeks should probably even be this color. These 6 weeks here, what I'm doing is we're really working up to doing these 5x5s of heavier motions, and the primary movements are going to change a little bit. Still going to squat, I'm still going to hinge or deadlift, but we're going to do some pressing, I'm going to row as well. These primary movements in running, they become more of a secondary focus to me because I'm getting so much of that in my actual run training at this point. Really what I'm focusing on is my ability to do these 4 things and to move a heavier weight. Not quite worried about speed quite yet, but I'm trying to get as strong as I can. What I'm really trying to get is a better connection from my brain to the muscle, so I can engage more muscle at once, engage my muscles in the right order, and again, just produce as much force as I can. What we'll do at the end here is we'll assess how strong I am, and then based on that, we'll get some goals as to how we should load for this next phase, which is getting into speed power. The loads are going to come down, the number of reps are going to come down, but what we're going to do is some of the motions become more dynamic. So instead of doing a full deadlift, we'll do rack pulls. Instead of doing bench press, we're going to do push press up on the shoulder, lighter load, but much faster. And then still, all through the rest of the season, carrying this knee drive, paw back, and plantar flexion, and core stability through as secondary motions. So the other thing I'm doing on days before workouts is what we call jump school. So they're 20 to 30 minute workouts with a decent warm-up. They really prep your nervous system to be able to jump and to land properly. And in running, which is entirely a series of jumps, that becomes super important. And then the last thing, cross training. I've been incorporating some fast, short rowing. For a lot of the reason why I'm doing the same general prep phase right now is I want to get used to going hard again. And I've been so used to in ultramarathon training just kind of sitting back in the pocket, and what I really want to do is to be able to push and to go hard. So I've just been getting on the rower, going for 15 to 30 seconds hard, trying to see how fast I can get that going, obviously trying to keep my form good, but that's going to slowly diminish until I get into what I'd like to do for general cross training, which is just get on the bike. It's just a nice, easy effort. I'll do it before or after I do strength training, sometimes in the morning before a running workout. And that is the plan I have between now and nationals. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube things, and yeah, happy running.